You lock eyes with someone across the room. You want to walk over and introduce yourself, but the fear of using the wrong words or making an awkward cultural misstep keeps you glued to your chair. The solution to that anxiety is structure. We are going to walk through a strict 4-step linguistic roadmap to take you from the very first hello all the way to handling the final bill at the end of the night. Before we begin, it's important to establish our boundaries. The phrases and etiquette rules we cover here are specifically calibrated for dating in the United States. They rely on American social norms, which means they might not work the same way in other countries. By treating an initial approach not as a guessing game, but as a repeatable sequence of phrases, you can focus on making a connection instead of worrying about what to say next. Let's start with step 1. The first objective is simply to breach the silence, without causing the other person to feel defensive or alarmed. You need a low-stakes reason to start talking. The safest and most effective formula for this is delivering a polite, superficial compliment. It shows interest, but leaves the other person entirely in control of how to respond. This chart gives examples of acceptable targets. Focus on stylistic choices like, "I like your jacket," but beware of crossing personal boundaries. The text warns, "Be careful not to offend." Complimenting something physical immediately alienates the person you want to meet. By focusing on a specific item like a watch or a coat, you provide a simple topic for them to acknowledge. Once they reply with a thank you, the initial silence is gone, allowing you to transition into a standard introduction. Once the ice is broken, you face the most delicate transition, moving from small talk to actually asking them out on a date. A common mistake is a vague request, like asking if they want to hang out sometime. This forces the other person to do the work of figuring out the logistics, which often leads to hesitation and a polite rejection. A successful ask requires a mandatory 2-part sequence. First, you verify their schedule. Then, after they confirm, propose a specific location and time. These charts illustrate the progression. Begin with the schedule check. Are you busy on Friday? If no, deploy the plan. How about meeting at the mall at 8? A clear plan makes it easy to say yes, prompting responses like, "The mall at 8 sounds great." By combining the schedule check with a pre-planned proposal, you eliminate all logistical ambiguity. It projects confidence and gives the other person a simple yes or no decision. Step 3 addresses a reality of modern romance. Often, your first physical meeting happens after you've already connected on a dating app. This introduces a new obstacle: the tension of locating a digital match in a loud, chaotic venue based entirely on a few profile photos. This chart provides the polite phrasing to approach a stranger. A direct question is best. "Excuse me, are you Maggie?" If you have the wrong person, you need a graceful exit. As seen here, simply apologize for bothering them and move on. Keeping these quick verification phrases loaded in your mind ensures that a case of mistaken identity remains a harmless 10-second interaction rather than a public humiliation. Step 4 arrives at the very end of the date, bringing with it the final stress test of the evening, the check. This guide outlines American financial etiquette. The person who initiated the date usually pays. However, it's common for your date to offer to split the bill, known as going Dutch. If you're on a budget, propose low-cost activities like a park picnic. Understanding these unwritten rules long before the waiter tops off the check prevents your evening from ending in a tense standoff over who reaches for their wallet first. You now have the complete sequence. You break the ice with a stylistic compliment, you verify their schedule before proposing a specific plan, you politely verify their identity, and you know exactly who is responsible for the bill. To make this system work, you have to practice it. Use these flashcards to vocalize the scenarios out loud. Getting all of the words into your muscle memory is just as important as reading them on the screen. Select one persona from the practice charts right now. Run through the entire sequence, from your first opening compliment to confirming the time and place of the date. When you combine a structured linguistic script with an understanding of the local culture, you take the guesswork out of the process. You're left with a clear, reliable path forward. Good luck out there.